Hey everybody, it's Commander Clyde, and we're finally here to talk about the Season 8 Duel Tier List. I'm doing right now. This is the first one for the season, so it could be a little shoddy. We'll see how it goes. First, I'm gonna discuss the meta currently that is out there a little bit, so we have a baseline for what we're gonna do here. Preface this with the fact is most gods are not going to be changing from last season, so I'm just going to be using the same tier list and moving a few things around as they need to be to make it easier. So, big thing, obviously, the starter items are dictating a lot of Duel right now. Obviously, Death's Embrace is the best starter to get in Duel right now because of the healing it provides and the fact that it also does it on structures. So, Demon Kings and your towers and phoenixes and all the fun stuff, so you can face tank Bull Demon and never care. Or face tank an objective even and take it that way, which is pretty cheese, but that's not the main thing that's happening. Obviously, Mannequin is still out there. That's not going to be as good of an item now, so that's probably going to fall off of the dual meta a little bit in favor of Death's Embrace, just because it's bugged. And it's a pretty ridiculous amount of healing if you have high DPS. So, the main thing right now, though, is people going attack speed reduction, so everyone's building Iqval, the Guardian Mail, sometimes Frostbound, maybe Witchblade, depending on the god you are. And then the rest is just your standard attack speed items, which of course is pretty frustrating to deal with. And there's a lot of gods that get abused by that kind of meta because they're less efficient at auto-attacking than some of the gods that like to build it. I'd like to discuss the fact that it's not a good build, and people want to say because you win with it that means it's good, and that's bullshit. Just straight up. It's annoying, it's frustrating, it's really not that good of a build. You're basically relying on itemization to win a game rather than your actual skill playing it. I mean, because you can pick Bologna and build all those items and just W key at somebody with the Death's Embrace upgrade, and you literally can't die. It's impossible. And dealt with that. I lost. To be specific, I did lose to Bologna while I was playing Chalk. So, I mean, I could have gone attack speed reduction too to give myself a better chance, but the bottom line is Chalk's just not as efficient auto-attacking as Bologna, so she just wins. That even if you do go a different build, doesn't matter. Before that, he could definitely win that if he wanted to, but that build is just so annoying to deal with that there's so many gods that just cannot do it as well, so they're going to lose to the ones that can. It's pretty simple. Of course, some people in their peanut brains are gonna, write comments about me shitting on that build, and they're gonna get all mad and be like, "Oh, why don't you just do it too?" Or, I mean, it wins, so why should I care? And it's like, keep your nonsense to yourself. I really don't give a shit what anybody thinks. It's a trash build. You're relying on itemization to win. It doesn't make you a good player. End of story. Anyway, so we are still going to have to consider that for the tier list if people are going to build it, because, that's how it's going to be. First of all, top things. I'm kicking some of these guys down here because of pick rate. So yeah, Baka Habwa, y'all can go down a little bit because pick rate is not really... Yeah, Habwa's probably still up here like that. Okay, good enough. The rankings within tiers don't necessarily mean a whole lot. I try my best to approximate where each god is. So all these gods up here, they're still good. Doesn't matter. Freya gets to go in S plus because she's broken right now. It's not really a right now. She's been that way since they reverted the last rework. So yeah. An advantage with her, she's not as affected by the current meta in Duel because some of the itemization is not good against a magical god, so you do well that way. And she has a lot of damage, of course. You want to try your best not to get hit by anything that's going to reduce your attack speed, so try to avoid the autos if you're fighting a hunter or something that's going that. But I think for the most part with Freya, you'll be fine because her damage is just pretty high. So yeah. Bologna will be slightly moved up here. Just, you know, for the fact that the build's pretty nuts on her. A lot of that is also due to the fact she's got block, which is incredibly annoying if you're going a attack speed, if she's going an attack speed reduction build, because if you try to fight back with it, there's autos that are just not going to hit for you because of that. So pretty tough, pretty annoying. So that's where she hangs out. You may honestly want to ban her just because of that. Just saying. If you see it once, you'll know what I mean by that. You know, you really don't want to see it again. Discussions about the rest of the gods here. They don't really move around. I will say the fact that most of your high level mages are going to still be good in this meta because they're not affected by the build cheese that's going around right now. They can do their usual thing and still be good. So that being said, I'm not going to move anybody. Just know that Anubis is going to be pretty strong right now. And of course, your magical carries, they're always that way. Always going to be good. Again, since Izanami fits really well with that attack speed reduction thing, because certain items will double proc on her autos, so she gets the effects faster. I have to move her up a bit. Osiris is going to stay where he is, just because even with that build, he's still not as frustrating, because no block is the main thing, and because he's got cleaves, he doesn't heal as much per auto, I think, as some other gods would from Death's Embrace. So he hangs out there. Vamana stays there because he's a cheese character, and honestly, he's probably pretty annoying right now, but we'll move him. Why did Osiris move down there? Put him back where he was. Okay, there we go. Vamana's obviously really annoying because his ult. Try dealing with that kind of attack speed reduction build. That's going to be a bad time for you. Moving along here, Arachne's probably, because she could build into that build pretty easily, she's going to be stronger. Up in S. I think Fenrir's like kind of stupid strong right now. So I'm actually going to send him up a little bit. His early game is still really potent and really strong. Brutalize, since that's your main damage, there's a lot of gods that you're still going to be able to fight easily, even with some of those cheese builds. So he stays. He gets a boost. I was going to talk about Amaterasu, and I can't find her. Again, Erlang, same thing. He can go into that build. Same thing with Amaterasu. I know Erlang has more DPS than her, but I think her kit's probably better right now. So we'll do that. I would say Vamana is obviously better because his ult is CC immune, so he can't be affected if you counter build him with attack speed reduction. And that's how that would go. Is Cupid S tier? Probably. This is getting crammed full of gods, and I don't like that, but you know, that's how it is. This many gods are highly viable right now, so that's just kind of what happens. I'm going to boost the monkey because there are certain ways you can build with him that are really good. And he can fight a lot of hunters pretty well. Stays up there. Susano, same thing. There have been some item changes where he's quite a bit better than he used to be. So these guys are both probably better than Merlin, but not better than this, so they'll hang out right there. If you guys have seen my last Susano duel video, you know the build that I'm talking about, where you go Hydra's Dominance and upgrade to Bumba's Hammer. So you get lots of bonus auto damage, which is really great for quick burst with assassins that auto cancel a lot. Let's see, does anybody else really need to move? Personally, I don't feel anyone in this tier needs to go anywhere. I think, well, Colin, he's a funny god. If you can use your passive really well on him, there's a lot of gods he can beat. Because he's the ultimate W key, man. And he does a lot of damage when he's in his rage form, so yeah. That to think about. I should probably move up Scylla too. Just because I'm undervaluing her, probably. Put you there. Because she's just a good character. This is not necessarily a dual thing with her. This is just, she's good. You know, it's a viable pick. There you go. Some of these gods are ranked on preference. I don't think Jingwei and Neith are particularly good, so they hang out here. That may not be true, but that's just how I've dealt with it. Neith's definitely not good in the current meta because she's not necessarily known as being as strong of an auto attacker as a lot of other hunters. Oh, she hangs out here. All the gods down here are crap. Kind of. Just not recommended. Since Morgan's here, something I should probably touch on is the fact of if you're going to play the Morgan, ban Kali, because her target passive will bug the Morgan if she ults. You will be locked in place and be unable to move. Even if you do select your target, it will still bug. I found that out the hard way, and I'm sure there's other interactions where she's also bugged. And you may not want to pick the Morgan a lot of the time because I'm not aware of any other bugs like that with her. But you never know. I know she's better than A, but it gets weird sometimes. Is Artemis better than A tier? I don't know. Probably so. But I'm not going to give her much benefit of the doubt on that. Gods are all bad, and these down here don't really matter. The main thing is current meta with the attack speed reduction builds and stuff. Those gods are automatically going to be stronger in a lot of scenarios, unless it's against a good mage, in which case you can work around that quite easily because they can't itemize that way. Can still go hell of attack speed, but there's not going to be any cheese. Unless they go frostbound, which, ew. But yeah. So really the only workaround if you find yourself in that situation is you kind of have to play along and do the same thing. The one thing I'm not seeing a lot is Executioner in a lot of these builds, and if you do that instead of some other items, if you can find a way to fit it into the build, it can give you an edge. One thing you can do is just try to build so much attack speed that you don't care about any of those item passives. But that's still going to be a little tough. You might have to still get Midgard as your defense. I feel like you kind of have to go Berserkers Midgard if you're dealing with that most of the time. But if you get Exy, with Ickfall, you can maybe do that. The problem is it's harder to fit anti-heal in when you do that. It's a real puzzle. Like I said, high-level mages, they don't have to worry about that because obviously their itemization is completely different from a physicals, and they're also not affected by that kind of cheese, so they can still kind of do what they want, and you don't have to worry about it. It's probably your best bet if you don't want to deal with that, or you pick a decent enough god that you don't care as much. Trying to think of a build right now to give you guys to maybe work around this because it's important. Because I don't want anybody to fall victim to this nonsense. So let's see, if you got Berserkers Ninja Tabi, you could maybe not get another defense. You could do that. And then go Exy Ickfall. I like the Exy first. So that's 4 items there. Right. And you're going to have Death's Toll in there because you want to upgrade to Death's Embrace. So Berserkers, Ninja Tabi, Exy Ickfall, which is a powerful combination. Exy Ickfall is. So you maybe want to explore that. And then if they also go Death's Embrace or in Death's Toll to upgrade to Death's Embrace, you may want a Toxic Blade last. And if they don't, then, do whatever. See, that might be the thing. You have to forego, you have to just go 1 defense and then build all the rest of the stuff. Because I think at that point you have enough attack speed that you're not really worried at that point. So you don't have as much attack speed reduction. You just got the Ickfall for that. But do you want to be that guy or not? I don't know. And I think to work around that build, you have to give yourself some room to build a different item other than like Midgardian. Because the thing is about DPS, if you can still get your autos off at a decent rate and they deal more damage, which they will deal a lot more if you have an Exy, that might be the workaround. So yeah. Anyway, there we go. This dual meta currently is terrible. I understand that. I'm really sorry, guys. I hate that this happened. But hopefully we will get through this and somebody will figure out a way around this garbage. So, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the first Duel Tierlist of Season 8. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I might have said that already. I can't remember. Whatever. Don't forget to check the helpful links down in the description below. The link to the Duel Tierlist will be down there. And I will see you guys next time for some more SMITE. Have a good one.